Welcome to my shop. Today we're going to put this little Kubota to work and get some, we're going to do some tilling, and if the weather allows, I'm going to try to get some corn seed down. So what I'm going to do, for those of you all that may have one of these or just bought one and you want to know some of the workings of it, just stay tuned and I'll show you a few tricks that I've learned over the years. So let's get to gardening. When you get in the tractoring world, you'll soon find out that if you do have a mid-mount mower or a belly mower or a mowing deck that mounts midway under the tractor, you'll learn that more than likely the lift for it is also the same for the 3-point hitch here in the back. Okay, now you'll see that there's a problem, or there's a possible problem, when you're running rear implements like a tiller or a plow or something like that. When you raise and lower that 3-point hitch, your mower deck's going to raise. Well, most of them, I know Kubota has this feature, but right here, this is the deck. This sets the depth of the deck. You can make out the numerals on it, but they're graduated in inches, and it's 1 inch, well, 0 to 4 inches. And you notice right now, right here, you see that arrow, okay? And you notice the word top is aligned to it. What that does is that locks the mid-mount mower in the top position. So no matter if you raise or lower the 3-point hitch back here, this will stay in the top position and won't get down into your work. Okay, now there ain't a whole lot of clearance down there, maybe 8 inches or so, so you don't want to do too much cultivating with it, but running a tiller or a plow or any other thing is pretty good. It works pretty good that way. So what I'm going to do is take that bracket off there so I can mount my tiller, which is right there. So let's get that mounted. Since I've got a concrete floor, I'm going to take full advantage of utilizing it. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to lower the hitch, and you'll notice here, let's see if you can see that. We'll spin it over a little bit. You'll notice that the 3-point hitch will drop, but the mower will not. And there we go. All right, now we're going to disconnect. Now I've got another top link for that tiller, so I'm going to even disconnect the top link here. All right. Keep all my parts with it. All right. Now I've got these premium graduated spread arms here, stabilizers, so I can really spread this out pretty good. All right, take that clip out, let's get him out. Now I want that spacer to stay with the mount here. So this is a Cat 1 3-point hitch, but this is a Cat 0 bracket. All right, it just so happens that I had it and it works great. All right, we keep all these things together. Roll him out of the way. All right, now we're going to bring the tiller in. Now there's several ways to connect this up. I use my own easy way of doing it. Now this here little cover, that just covers the rear PTO. And this is what connects to the PTO on the tractor. Now what I'm going to do, it comes apart. Leave him out of the way. We'll see how he lines up. He really only lines up one way, and you need to know that beforehand. Okay? And there we go. So he lines up and he'll slide. So we won't be turning the tiller. And I know this tag here is to the right. And we'll connect him up. Alright, he's locked in. We'll turn him to there, okay? Guess I can show you a close-up. See the PTO to the shaft down there, okay? We've got the label to the left like that. Now what I'm going to do is get that started, and I'll get these arms lined up. It takes two hands, so and there isn't a whole lot of room. So we'll try to do this. Showing it. Okay. Get the pins out. Alright. Let's get the PTO lined up. Shaft. Alright. They're lined up. Let's get him down. Now we can bring him up front. Alright. Swing him around. Okay. Now I'm going to start the tractor and raise the arms. See if I can get a better shot here. All right. Better if you let the hydraulics do the work for you. Now I had this where I wanted it, but you can You can bring it out like this and adjust it. Sometimes it would align up fine. There we go. All right. Now you can see how much my tiller sways. That's what these pins will do, will lock it into place. See, you almost need two hands to do it. There we go. And we'll clip him. And then we get the other side. So you got several holes you can align up to. You just poke in the hole that aligns. Alright, put the clip in. Notice he does have a little bit of play, but that's okay. That's good enough. Alright. So we're connected. Now we're going to test. Alright, this is the PTO select. This turns it on and off. This selects between the mid PTO, the rear PTO, and both. It'll run both simultaneously. All the way up to there is the rear only. I don't want my my mower deck moving any. And you can see from the see that's that position right here in the middle. That's both. That's just the bit. That's just the mower. Both. That's just the rear. This turns it on. Now I'm going to do a test, but I'm going to drop it down a little bit. Alright, now we're going to test it at a low RPM first to make sure everything goes alright. So we're turning them on, and we look back here, and there we go. Alright, everything seems good. We'll turn him off. You see, it automatically stops. So we're in a good position. The mower deck didn't move, and we're ready to go. Last thing we want to do before we pull out is lower this ROPS. That will not go through a 7-foot opening, believe me. Every owner of one of these finds out at one time or another, if they lock that thing up, that it's going to do it. So anyway, I'm going to pin it down and we'll pull out to where we're going to work. We've had so much rain, I haven't been able to mow this section yet. Look at that, how high it is. And I got on the other side of the fence, that's my two low spots. But anyway, you can probably see my spot. Now, believe it or not, I had that tilled up a month ago, and it just rained every other day. So I'm going to have to mow. Now I'm going to point another thing out about this tiller before I start. And I'm going to navigate to what I think is about the center of the patch here. I should have mowed it, but it's all right. It'll make good fertilizer. I'll pull down a little bit. All right. See, I tilled it and I fertilized this here. All right. That's a 42-inch tiller. What that means is it doesn't cover the full 48 width of the rear wheels. So it's offset to the right enough to go past that right side rear wheel. So when I till, I've got to till to where I go back and forth so I don't overlap, and I do cover the tire tracks. So you'll see what I'm talking about when I do it. So here we go. about 3 passes. This last pass only took about 20 minutes. Once you get it broke up real good. So I believe it's ready to put some seed down now. Normally I only have to do 2 passes, but I had fertilized when I did it and turned it in with the tiller, oh, I guess about a month or so ago, before all the deluge of rains hit us. And well, a whole lot of weeds and grass took hold. So anyway, we're gonna head back and do something about the planter. Alright, disconnecting the tiller's a whole lot easier than connecting it. So number one, let's get this ROPS up so I don't bust my head. That's one thing. This is required by law. And it really gets in the way, but alright, what can you do? This is my homemade stand for the tiller. Alright. Now normally, if it was muddy, oh, I'd have a lot of cleaning to do, but it cleaned up real easy. So I don't have to show you how easily I cleaned it up. So anyway, put the engine off. Just lower it down onto the stand. Alright. Take off the top link. Well, we have to get the bottom first. Alright. Okay. Now she's loose. Alright. Got the top pin. Now just roll away. Then it separates at the PTO shaft, which makes it a lot easier to disconnect the PTO shaft from the PTO. Alright. Let's move him up. Sometimes it gets jammed. Okay. There you go. You push that pin, and that's what releases it. And that's it. Like I say, it's a lot easier to disconnect than to connect. Now, I think I'm going to need this top link for my corn planter. We'll see here momentarily. I can take it off if I have to. Alright. Now we'll slide him out of the way. And we'll get the corn planter. Alright, this is a Yetter 610 single row planter. It takes several different discs inside in order to plant different crops. And I've got a corn disc in it right now. I said incorrectly that a farmer made it. Actually, this is factory made single row, but they used the same unit to go on multi-row back in the day. And this adjusts the downforce right here to where you can pretty much help set your depth, as well as this adjustment here on the side. And I've got it to where it's about 2 inches deep, and that's where I wanted to go for corn. Here's the hopper, and you can see down there possibly the disc for the corn. Now this rides on top of the corn, and it'll tell you how much, where this sits, how full of seed it is. Of course, this is a, you know, a category 1 hitch. That's the closing wheel, and really I need to have chains or something to drag behind it to help pull the mounds on either side over. The dirt I have with all that dead grass, that it doesn't close. The closing wheel doesn't close that good. And here on the side, inside this pan here, you can change out sprockets for the drivetrain. I guess I could pop that off. And you can see the drivetrain there. You can change out this sprocket and the back sprocket back there, and you can change out the speed, how many seeds it'll drop per revolution of the wheel. I've got the 2 tall sprockets on, so I'm putting down a seed about every 6 to 8 inches in a row. And anyway, and there's that adjustment. This along that sets your depth right here, and this sets your downforce. Okay. So anyway, and there, of course, that's the stand to help it stand. So that's the corn planter. Seed will do, I got enough seed to do the whole plot, so that's why I started in the middle, working my way on each end. That way I won't have a big bald spot in the middle. I really need some chains to drag behind this thing or something. The closing wheel just doesn't seem to be doing that good a job. I really worked the dirt up good. Worked it up so good I had to go to 4-wheel drive. Now this right here, when it goes all the way down, will indicate I'm empty. So it seems like we're doing all right. I showed this. Well, there's about an acre, give or take. I didn't count the rows. I guess I may come back here and do it. Not real happy with the way my closing wheel worked, but I went back over and compacted it down some. So we'll see. Anyway. Been able to mow in that area either. That's how wet this season's been so far. I might get to it tomorrow if it doesn't rain tonight. Might rain tonight. That section right there. Right there's where I'm composting some grass. Right here, look at that. Look how tall that is. Just haven't been able to get in there. You know, I can get in there, four-wheel drive, but it'll rut it so bad. Anyway. You see here in the mud. Alright, this is the day after. I hadn't gotten the tiller cleaned off and put up and the planter done within half an hour. Had another deluge. So actually I'm kind of glad to get the rain after the fact. So anyway, I wanted to show you my bracket I've got here for my 3-point hitch. If you notice this right here, that's designed for a hitch for several implements to just slide on and bolt up. I've got a ball hitch for my trailer, I've got a cultivator, I've got a rake, and I've also got a disc that I can connect to it and pull behind it. I actually made up a lawn roller to help, you know, give me the striping effect, and it was too much of a hassle, so I don't worry too much with rolling. But anyway, that's a handy device. It's actually a Cat 0. I had it for an old lawn and garden tractor, and using sleeves on the pins, the end pins, which are designed for Cat 0, which are actually smaller than a Cat 1. Put some sleeves in it, and I've adapted it to this Cat 1 hitch, and it works pretty good. So anyway, well, I just noticed I need to put my PTO cover back on. All right, this is just like a dust protector. That's the way, and he goes right. He just snaps on right there. He's just a plastic cover. I've always had it, came with it, so I put it on there. And this ROPS here, this is of course on the non backhoe models. Now this is the BX23D, which it's got the extra framing for a backhoe, which sits right back here. Okay, now in order to meet, I guess, some law or rule, they had to go with an extra tall ROPS, because this seat, when it flips around, you actually sit higher to operate the backhoe. So it makes it taller than your standard Kubota tractors that will fit under a 7-foot opening like most garage doors. But with the backhoe versions of the BXs, you got that folding ROPS there, and you've got to always remember to fold it down or you will mark your territory, guaranteed, at least once. A couple of my wheel horses. Both of them are 1966 models, and I'll one day do a video on them. Alright, I'm still experiencing some video difficulties. Now my tripod's about to fall. Hopefully it won't fall in the middle of this closing segment here. But anyway, thought I'd share how I reconfigure my Swiss Army knife of a little subcompact tractor to do some gardening. If I wasn't lazy, I would have removed the deck. Back in the day when I bought this thing in 2006, and I would remove the deck or the mower, the mid-mount mower, when I went to do any kind of dirt work. I would remove it, and I've got a little skid plate I made up to bolt up underneath it. But as the days go by, that's such a pain to do. Raise it high enough, and that's good to go. Well, there's a cat. Got him a, what has he got? Can't tell. Looks like one of my neighbor's cats got a bird. Yeah. Anyway, yeah, circle of life, they say. So anyway, what was I saying? Oh yeah, I just lock it in the up position, and it's good enough. Now, if I'm doing any serious dirt work, or if my son-in-law or one of my brothers borrow it to do some dirt work, I will remove the mower because I don't want them messing it up. Otherwise, lock it up, and generally it's enough ground clearance. Even with this removed, to do any kind of cultivating with these short tires, it's really, I don't know, you might get 8 inches of ground clearance without this, and then maybe 5 with it. So, I mean, to me, the 3 extra inches, just leave it on and lock it up. But anyway, didn't have to have the loader on, but I was doing some other stuff while I had it on. So this is so easy to take on and off that I may take it on and off several times a day, depending upon what I'm doing. But I don't mow with it because you put this thing in 2-wheel drive, no mower, no loader. This is a very nimble 60-inch finish mowing machine. Very nimble. You leave this loader on, you got to be real careful because it will do some damage to stuff. So I would recommend, if you got one of these, I wouldn't mow with the loader on, but that's my preference, you know, however you want to. But anyway, I don't put the backhoe on unless I need it, and the other implements are outside. As you can tell, I've just got no room. So anyway, hope you enjoyed it. Hope everything's going good with you and yours. Everything's going great here. Can't complain. Won't do me no good to complain anyway. I just got back from a nice little vacation on the coast. That's where I was already red. Now I noticed, you know, normally I'll wear more for sun protection, but I was shot down with some SPF 50, so that's why I figured just try to get the tan evened up. Anyway, hope to see you around on the next one. We'll see.